Hey, what's up guys? This is going to be game 2 in this series between Marine King and Dimaga. It is going to be played out in on Entombed Valley. And so on the bottom left position we have the green Zerg Dimaga spawning. And in the top right position we have Marine King spawning as the blue Terran. Just like to point out that I really like the color from Dimaga. Green I feel like is best color for Zerg. It makes him look pretty badass if I may say so. Especially the Overlord eyes right here. Looks pretty nice. Anyways, last game, Dimaga did pull out some cheese. He did 6 pull on Antigua Shipyard. That's what's up with the smileys and stuff. But it was a pretty risky move on his part, and it ended up paying off because Marine King on the other side of the field was being risky himself. He was going for a CC first on the low ground, and Dimaga pulling all his drones with his lings, and just kind of managed to, his risk paid off, and he managed to pull out that first win. And Marine King might be feeling a bit insecure. He probably won't go for a CC first again. But then again, Marine King has balls of steel, so he might do it just to kind of mind game Dimaga, because nobody in their right mind would CC first twice in a row after being defeated the first time by an early pool. And wow, Dimaga is going for another early pool. Well, not too early. I think that was a 14 pool. He might just expand right behind this. But it looks like Marine King is going for a CC first yet again. And this can be, pretty annoying for Marine King if Dimaga, makes a bunch of lings to open up and pressures this CC first. The SCV can definitely be picked off if the lings get there in time. And the Marine King does plop down his barracks at 15 supply. And he does continue SCV production after this. I wonder if he is going to go for a second barracks just to be safer this time. Well, that SCV is here, yeah, so it does look like he is going to go for 2 barracks, get some, kind of catch up in the Marine count. And, this does give him some aggressive options as well, because, 2 barracks worth of Marine production might not sound like a lot, but, they can go out onto the map if there's not too many Zerglings, especially without speed. Marines can trade really efficiently against Zerglings. And I just want to talk about the map a little bit as well. Entombed Valley is quite a nice map for securing an early third, just like Antigua was. So it looks like Marine King, I don't know, he might be looking to take this into a macro game, Marine King is known for his kind of micro-intensive builds, or cheese, but it doesn't look like that's going to be coming out anytime soon. 2 refineries do get thrown down. He does commence marine production. And it looks like Dimaga doesn't opt to build any lings, actually. I guess, because Entombed Valley is known as kind of like a pretty good 2 racks map, 11 racks map, putting one here and one here. And so I guess he wanted just that, that ability to crank out early lings in case he does spot any kind of shenanigans going down. And working down this supply depot here, it does allow him to start building here if he wants to. No bunker down as of yet, but then again, Marine King hasn't spotted any real threat as of yet, which is probably because he hasn't scouted at all, actually. And Dimaga hasn't scouted Marine King either, but he knows where he is, at least. So that's good for him. And double gas has gone down for Dimaga, so it looks like he might go into some sort of aggression, maybe Roach, throwing down a Roach Horn after this. But it does look like he is intensively droning up at this point. Looking at the harvest count, up to 33, and a bunch more popping out, while the Terran is at 25. But his Marine count is getting quite nice. And look at this. Making a factory, adding... Okay, so starting stim on the tech lab, on the Marine, and it looks he probably will swap the reactor onto the factory. And the 3rd barracks is down, so this looks like it's going to be some sort of Hellion bio push. Maybe time the stim, and look at this. With some of the gas that Dimaga has mined off his 2 extractors, he does start speed, and 12 lings are being thrown out right now, and double Evo chambers are being plopped down to kind of start this wall off against any sort of Hellion run-bys, which is a smart move, and the creep spread does start. Looks like he does have 1 extra queen for now to kind of start spreading the creep and kind of trying to deny any sort of early scout. And the first two Hellions do pop out, and they do move out onto the map. One does secure the watchtower and is going to go cross map, while this one goes downwards, because these two are the only possible spawn locations. And yeah, we'll see what kind of timing Marine King wants to hit. I'm assuming some kind of, because double react. So it is going to be a Hellion Marine push, I believe. He'll probably wait for combat shields after this. He might not though. Just if he scouts like an early opportunity to attack. But a Baneling Nest is coming down for Dimaga. A third base is being secured, and the rocks are being taken down by both players. And okay, so an early third CC for Marine King, and it is really easily defendable on this map, just because there is that ramp, and your units can kind of sit behind a wall and move in between the main and sort of the natural and the third to defend. Two eBays are going down as well, so I thought there was going to be some kind of Marine Hellion timing, but it might just be for defense. And you know, if he does see an opportunity to attack, if he senses Dimaga is being a bit too greedy, which he is not at this point. He does have a significant amount of Banelings and Lings. Marine King could possibly try and push out, but if Marine King does spot these units, I think he should pull back. Stim is done, so he can micro these Hellions and Marines away from the Banelings. And I mean, Marine King does have amazing control, so he might be able to pull something out here. But with this creep, you know, Dimaga is going to spot everything. He is morphing in 4 more Banelings. +1/+1 might finish in time for this assault, actually. And I don't think this is going to do too much for Marine King unless he, you know, displays some amazing micro against these Banelings and Lings. And yeah, the Hellions do spot this huge flood of Lings and Banelings, and a lot of the Lings do get taken out initially, so they do pull back. But some nice splitting of the Hellions, although they do get taken out by the Banelings. This Terran army does get whittled in quite a bit. 28 more Lings are on the way, so Dimaga should be able to overwhelm this. But Marine King has done what he wanted to. You know, it forced Dimaga to make a bunch of army units instead of drones, and you know, at a 10-minute mark, 61 drones isn't a bad position to be as Zerg, but I mean, ideally you could be at like 70 drones already. And so the upgrades are rolling for Dimaga, actually. +2 Carapace is on the way, as well as Centrifugal Hooks, which is the Baneling speed. Yeah, and we'll see what kind of tech he adds to this. Infestation Pit is down, so Passage and Glance should start any time now with the Ling Infestor Baneling. And look at this little engagement happening in the middle of the map right now, and with these Marines being healed with the Medivacs, he should be able to push this away with the tank coming in to help. Nice little trade there from Marine King. And a 4th base is being secured by Dimaga right now. Nice move. He knows that Marine King won't be able to muster up any sort of real army to attack anytime soon, just because he lost all those units. And siege mode is on the way. His Marine King's production is really nice right now. He can start 2-2 when he wants to. And his SCV production has been pretty nice so far. He has a 1 harvester lead at this point of the game. And Dimaga is actually committing to a lot of units right now. He might be looking to get a bit aggressive, actually. You know, with the Infestors should probably come out soon, but this Hive actually kind of makes me feel like he might not want to attack too soon if he wants to attack Broodlords or maybe even Ultras. But they could just be for the early 3-3. So yeah, Dimaga has a lot of options at this point. He could tech up into higher tech units, or he could kind of put on some aggression. But I mean, it is a little bit hard on this map just because tanks being positioned here cover this ramp as well as this ramp. So any sort of Ling Baneling attack, even with Infestors, is a bit risky. And the Ling do take the Watchtower, and Marine King, he should load up these units, and he does. It's actually quite nice, a really nice pickup, because I mean, this kind of threatens the drop possibility, but Dimaga actually has really nice Overlord spread across the map, and this should allow him to spot any sort of drops coming his way. Marine King is actually posturing to be a bit aggressive here, even though his upgrades are, you know, not even 25% of the way done. And this army is really small compared to Dimaga, so if Dimaga does rush in, this army should get cleaned up really easily. Marine King really needs to be careful. You know, I find his move a bit questionable, actually. And look at this, the Lings coming from the back, surrounding the tanks straight away, even a Fungo going down on them, and the tanks do manage to target down some of the Infestors, but, I mean, Damaga just has way too much stuff here. But the thing that MarineKing does have going for him is his large medevac count. He does manage to preserve them because the infestors do not have any fungal energy left. And it looks like Damaga is going to go for a counterattack, and the wall-off is not complete here. MarineKing needs to be really careful here. He is outnumbered right now, and the Lings do try to get around, but nice start step by MarineKing, microing his Marines back, but the Banelings do roll in now. And with these reinforcing Marines, actually, I think MarineKing is going to hold for now. Nice little missile turret here to kind of spot any sort of burrowed infestor play, but this and looks like MarineKing is trying to secure his 4th base now, but this Ling does scout it. So Dimaga does feel pretty safe to secure his own 5th base, as well as adding a bunch more army units. He looks like he is going to go to Ultralisk path. Chitinous plating is on the way for the Ultralisks, as well as adrenal glands for the Lings. It just lets them shred anything to tiny little bits. Yeah, and adding a lot more infestors. So I wouldn't say anybody is ahead or behind at this point. MarineKing does have a supply lead, but I mean that should that gap should close as the production of Dimaga should kick in pretty soon. And it looks like MarineKing is going to be aggressive again. He does have the 2-2-1 timing, but because of that earlier push that he did try to do, his army is slightly smaller than it should be. We'll see what he can get done though. 3 ultras are about to pop. And looks like Dimaga is going to move in here, but the tanks are sieged up in a really nice position. Marines are split quite nicely. No real big fungals do go down, and with this huge medevac count, even when the Marines do get fungal, they just don't die. And but Dimaga does have a lot of units now popping out from his hatcheries, and the tanks do get caught unsieged right here, and they don't even get one volley off, and nice fungals right there as well. And with the ultras backing this up, he should be able to hold this, but there's actually quite a big bioforce still left over for Dimaga, and MarineKing, and he is out of fungal energy, and all those infestors do go down. And I feel like MarineKing, if he just pushes through here, he might be able to secure his win in Game 2 over here. A lot of queens going down as well. Infestors do pull back, and this 5th base is going to die pretty soon here. This tank is a little bit exposed. Dimaga could pick this off if he wishes. But he's not going to risk it, I don't think. He really needs some more backup. He needs more infestors. He only has 1 infestor right now, and Ultralisks, infestors, and Lings do try to take this army down, but with this many marauders, those Ultralisks aren't going to do too well at all. And it does look like Dimaga does manage to push this back, but MarineKing does load up, so he does save a bunch of units. But look at this, another army is just ready to go for MarineKing. His macro has been quite good behind that, his really nice micro as well. And MarineKing does sprint forward, picking off some of the creep tumors, denying that map vision as well as the speed boost for the Zerg. And looking at the supplies, MarineKing is quite far ahead. He's in a really nice position right now. These medevacs are kind of exposed here, but he does unload, and they do regroup with his main army. And the 5th command center is on the way. A 6th command center is about to start. So MarineKing is a really nice spot, and it looks like Dimaga is going to move into the army here. The tanks are unsieged, but the Lings and Banelings do get taken out by the Marines and Marauders really quick. The 1 Ultralisk does remain, but that is all that remains of Dimaga's army. 6 more Ultras are about to pop, but I don't think they're going to be out in time. These infestors do fungal to the best of their ability, but with the huge medevac count, I don't think Dimaga is going to be able to hold. I mean, he is going to lose this 4th base for sure, and if MarineKing goes over, he can pick up that building 5th base as well, and the economy for the Terran is just way ahead right now, together with his immaculate production as well. Look at this, another 3 tech lab barracks, allowing MarineKing to really build up that marauder count, and 3-3 is about to finish for the Terran. And 3-3 bio is just so good against Lings and Banelings, as well as Ultralisks. Yeah, and it all comes down to really nice timings being picked up from MarineKing. He did have some really weird counterintuitive timings, which did kind of work out in his favor. And looks like Dimaga this is going to be his last ditch effort to try and break this army, but there's just too much for MarineKing, and he overwhelms Dimaga. Really nice play from MarineKing this game. He does manage to even up the series 1-1. I will be moving into Game 3 pretty shortly after this, so I hope you guys watch the next one too.